Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I want to discuss a very important and very timely book that I read recently. It is Stolen Focus by Johann Hari, Why We Can't Pay Attention. I don't know about you, but my attention span, it definitely is not what it used to be. I am like everyone else, I'm living in this new digital world where there's notifications, updates all the time. This book actually came to me from reading another book, which I also highly recommend. It's called Dopamine Nation. That book kind of really solidified my understanding of how negative mobile phones are and how we're essentially addicted to that dopamine loop. Off the back of that book, when I started, I'll be full confession, I was spending about 6 hours a day on my phone, which is obviously horrendous. And I got it down to about an hour and a half at the moment, which I think is okay. Obviously, you can still go lower than that, but I think an hour and a half is reasonable. But what this book really taught me was your ability to pay attention is not just about your phone. There is a myriad of other reasons why people can't concentrate anymore. And some of the really key reasons that came out for me was first and foremost around sleep deprivation. People aren't getting the quality sleep they used to. And if you wake up and you're tired, you're essentially you're operating the day on 40% battery life, essentially. And so I think he also talks about the idea that people that they only slept 4 or 5 hours of sleep as like a badge of honor, when there's no science supporting sleeping, less than 7 hours. All the science says 7 hours plus. Some of the science now is actually saying 8 to 9 hours, depending where you're reading. And this also goes into other topics around the type of content you're actually consuming, also your diet, and how digital devices like phones and iPads affect young people more acutely than actual adults as well. And also the decline in reading. And I know there is a resurgence of people on TikTok and Instagram doing book talk reviews. And so that's exciting to see that, but that's still very much a small percentage of people. And my favorite quote from the entire book is actually, he compares a digital detox period where he basically goes monk and doesn't have any access to the internet at all for I think it was for a week. And he spent the entire time just reading physical books and just reflecting on, all the challenges in his life. And the quote in the book goes something to the effect of, I don't like the person I become when I spend too much time on social media. I do like the person I become when I'm reading books. I don't know about you, but I'm sure you've already guessed, I love reading books. And I definitely feel that the more I read, the better my mental health gets, the better I feel, the more confident I am. And the inverse, the more time I spend on my phone, the more I'm comparing myself against others, and the more I'm in that, instant scrolling of 24-hour news cycles and stuff that actually isn't serving my life. One really actionable thing that I did off the back of this book is that when I used to go for my morning walk, I used to listen to a podcast or music while I was walking. And now I just walk. No podcast, no music, no anything, just peace and quiet, and just the ability just to think and have that space to think. It's okay, almost like that toxic productivity thing where I've got to go for a walk and I've got to listen to a podcast and I've got to No, just go for a walk, get some fresh air, and reflect on the previous day and the day ahead of us. I highly recommend this book to anyone looking to have a deeper understanding of how to regain your attention. So many of the companies are vying for your eyeballs every single day, and your emotional state is in the balance when you're playing that game. So I guess the overarching takeaway from this book is that it's not just your phone. It's so many other factors that are influencing your ability to really have that deep, focused energy. I guess a heartwarming example of this is that, like, when you're hanging out with your friends and you're having a great conversation, You're not looking at your watch, you're not looking at your phone, you're dialed into that person. And that presence is something that I think is deteriorating. And so if you read this book, you will understand more of the triggers that basically are eating away at your ability to focus. That's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, be kind, be careful, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Bye.